Another session of plant kingdom, that is part 21. In today's session we will discuss about the classification of gymnosperms. Classification. Just briefly I am going to tell about the classification of gymnosperm. So the gymnosperms that has been classified into three different classes by Sporn in the year 1965. So according to Sporn, he has classified the gymnosperm into three different classes. The gymnosperm that have been classified into three classes. That is, the first class is Psychadopsida. The first class is Psychadopsida. The second one is Coniferopsida. First one is Psychadopsida. The second one is Coniferopsida. The third one is Neotopsida. So example and the brief explanation concerning about this anta bandaga, the example for Psychadopsida is Cycas. So now ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕಲಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಕಲ್ಕೊಂತನೇ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Cycas in general ಆಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ you can write it down later on by watching the video. The Cycas is the most primitive endangered gymnosperm, has about only 117 species in the whole world right now, which exactly resembles very similar to that of the palm like habit and fern like foliage. Andreno fern like leaves irtavalle, and the root system is of adventitious type, and the stem is having the root possessing the coroid roots. Then the wood is having monoxylic and the polyxylic secondary growth, and the sporophylls are arranged from the cones, and the leaves are pinnate, usually show the circinate venation, and they are dioecious in nature. The cycas are dioecious in nature. The ovules are of arthropod type, and they are largest in the plant kingdom. Remember, the ovules of cycas are largest in the plant kingdom. So the seed contains a haploid nutritive endosperm with two cotyledons in embryo. So this is what concerning with respect to the cycas. Once we concentrate on the Coniferopsida, example for Coniferopsida is Pinus, right? So the Pinus, which is it consisting of more than 3/4 of the present gymnosperms flora, and it is going to represent the most successful group of gymnosperms. The Coniferopsida, it includes the coniferophytes. They are also going to describe as predominantly grow in the certain hilly areas, which have been given by Takazan. He has mentioned it. Takazan is well-known taxonomist, and even in his work he has mentioned about the Coniferopsida or the conifers. So these individual the conifers, they are the most compact unisexual cones it is going to possess, and they are monoecious in nature, and especially the conifers, they are going to produce neat anta bandaga, they are going to produce the winged pollen grains. Remember, winged pollen grains, they are the characteristic feature of Pinus. Remember this, the Pinus possess the winged pollen grains, and they usually monoecious in nature, and the individual Pinus, they are possessing two types of branches, that is the dwarf branch and the foliose branch, as we all know that, and there will be a presence of male and female cones. They are present on the same body or the same plant body, and usually it is also possessing the haploid endosperm. The fertilization is of Siphonogamous type of fertilization, what we are going to find here, and even they are possessing a simple polyembryonic. So the example for the Pinus is example for Coniferopsida is the Pinus. Since they all are not there in your syllabus, yet I am mentioning them. Just ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ important aspect ಮಾತ್ರ. Next to Neetaceae, that is Neotopsida. That is Neotopsida, it contains the Neetum is a very good example for that. Neetum. So this Neotopsida, which is most advanced type of gymnosperms compared to the Pinus and the Cycas. The leaves are simple and they may be spirally arranged or oral or opposite, and the trees are dioecious, especially the Neetum, it contains the monoecious condition. In this type of xylem of gymnosperm, the xylem is possessing the xylem vessels, but Cycas Pinus olaga xylem vessels irlilla. Since it's the most advanced, the xylem has xylem vessels, and there will be a presence of arthrotropous type of ovule, and they are also going to carry out the process of the fertilization, which results in the production of the polyembryonic conditions. So this is what all about the classification of the gymnosperms. So angiospermic group andada nimaga nim syllabus ge aa angiospermic group na delete madidara. So for that sake I am also skipping that. ನಾನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾರ್ಫಾಲಜಿ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲವರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ, ಅನಾಟಮಿ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲವರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ. ಫ್ಲವರಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಆಂಜಿಯೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ plants. So we came across certain three technical terms like the haplontic, diplontic, haplodiplontic. So or diplohaplontic antakanta ಮೂರು ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು. So first and foremost agi, since it is a short video, so we are going to talk about the haplontic life cycle. So the various spontaneous events which are going to occur in the plants or in the organism, from the formation of zygote till the formation of zygote from the next generation. So we are going to call that aspect as what? Life cycle. So zygote ಇಂದ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೊಳ್ಳಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ zygote ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗತಕ್ಕಂತ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಗೆ ನಾವ್ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದು ಹೆಂಗಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಅಸ್, ನಾವ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆದ್ವಿ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆದ್ವಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ, ಯಾವಾಗ the gametes are fused, gametes from the mother, gametes from the father, they fused and results to form us, zygote. ನಾವು ಎಂಬ್ರಿಯೋ ಆದ್ವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಂತ ಒಂದು ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ zygote ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಹೊಂದಿರ್ತದೋ ಆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್. ಆ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಒನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಲುಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್, ದ haplontic life cycle. So this type of life cycle is seen in majority of the green algae. Remember, the haplontic life cycle seen in majority of the green algae. ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಕಲಿತೀವಲ್ಲ ಇವು ಮೂರು ಕೂಡ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಲ್ಗೆದೊಳಗೆ ಕನ್ಫೈನ್ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್. So this haplontic life cycle, that's why I have written it as Spirogyra. Example for the haplontic life cycle is Spirogyra. So this is Spirogyra. Consider the plant body of the Spirogyra. As we all know that the gametophytic phase is the most dominant phase there. In such algae, the gametophyte is a vegetative individual. It is going to form gametes which have been formed in the gametangia, right? So here come to the individual plant body. This is haploid and it is gametophyte, right? So this gametophytic plant body, it is going to produce having a gametangia. Within this gametangia there will be a production of the gametes. Since consider they are male gamete and the female gamete. So these two gametes, they are combined together, conjugation again, they will carry out the process of fertilization. As a result of fertilization, there will be a formation of zygote. So the zygote which has been from here, from the plant body ಇಂದ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು up to the fertilization, ಇಲ್ಲೇನದಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಯಾವ ಫೇಸ್ ಇದು, it is a gametophytic phase. As soon as the fertilization is going to occur, there will be a formation of zygote that has been formed. This zygote, it will undergo the development, it is going to produce into the sporophyte. That sporophyte, it is having a spore mother cell. That spore mother cell, it is going to produce us the spores from the meiotic cell division. So this up to here, ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ meiosis ಆಗೋವರೆಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದೇನದು sporophytic condition. So this sporophyte which has the spore mother cell which will undergo the process of meiotic cell division results in the production of haploid spores, right? So we call that spores as what? Zoospores ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. So the zoospores are the motile spores, ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತು. So those spores, they are freely moving in the water. As soon as they will get a favorable environmental condition for the germination, the zoospores, they will undergo the process of germination. So as soon as the germination of the zoospore, there will be a production of one more plant body of spirogyte. That's how most of the life cycle ಒಳಗೆ ಇದು ಕೂಡ haploid, ಇದು ಕೂಡ haploid, ಇದು ಕೂಡ haploid ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. haploid, 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 haploid. So which results in, actually ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಂಜುಗೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. So which results in the production of diploid structure. As soon as the meiosis occur, meiosis ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಏನ್ರಿ? What is the another name for meiosis? Reductional cell division, right? So the reductional cell division which results in the formation of the haploid nuclei or the haploid spores. So those haploid spores, they are going to form one more vegetative plant gametophytic body. Since only gametophyte is vegetative part, the life cycle has no alternation of generation. Remember, kya bekambariri? Since the gametophyte is the vegetative body, the life cycle has no alternation of generation. The life cycle has no alternation of generation. Example kya baribodu ನೀವು? Green algae like Chlamydomonas spirogyra. Green algae like Chlamydomonas spirogyra. Edogonium, you can write it down. Edogonium, Ulatrix, Edogonium, Ulatrix, Cara, you can write it down. So they will show the haplontic life cycle. There will be a Bangia antakanta ಒಂದು Bangia, in other words we may call it as Bangia, is a type of red algae that is also going to show this type of life cycle, that is haplontic life cycle. So this is what all about the life cycle of haplontic life cycle. In the next session we'll discuss about diplontic life cycle and diplohaplontic life cycle. So write down the homework of today's session. So write down the homework. Write the general characteristic feature of pteridophytes. Write the general characteristic feature of pteridophyte. What are cones? What are cones? Then write a note on classification of pteridophyte. Write a note on classification of pteridophyte. Write a note on classification of pteridophyte. Then write the general characteristic feature of Write the general characteristic feature of gymnosperms. Write a note on classification of gymnosperms. Classification of gymnosperms. Then write a note on haplontic life cycle. Write a note on haplontic life cycle. So especially there will be another concept like economically importance nodadaitappa antandre gymnosperms though. The gymnosperm do has certain economic importance. It is going to produce a good quality of timber. Especially there is a species called as cedrus and kali. So they are widely used in the building materials, especially the pinus wood. It is used in the packaging material, packaging cases. ಒಂದು ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ಈಗ ಆಪಲ್ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಇದ್ದ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತಾರ ಹಣ್ಣ ವುಡನ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಜಿಮ್ನೋಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಇಂದ ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವುಡನ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇವನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅವನ್ನ ಪೈನಸ್ ವುಡ್ ಇದ್ದ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅಂಡ್ ಇವನ್ ದ ಸೀಡರ್ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ವುಡ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಹಾವ್ ಬಿನ್ used as a cleaning agent, right? The resins of the pinus, it can be used in the mounting medium for the biological preparations, and there are certain many gymnosperms, they have been used as the ornamentals, and there will be a chemical that has been obtained from the bark of taxus. We call it as Taxol. That Taxol, it is a medicine which is going to cure the cancer. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸರ್ ಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅಂಡ್ ಇವನ್ ದ ಪೈನಸ್ ಇದ್ದ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸೆಲ್ಡಸ್ ಇದ್ದ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪಲ್ಪ್ನ ವಿಚ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪಲ್ಪ್ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ವುಡ್, right? So that's how one can easily know about the economical importance of the gymnosperms. So this is what all about the gymnosperms and the brief idea about the life history related to the algae, especially the haplontic life cycle. So in the next session, in upcoming session, we will talk about diplontic life cycle and diplohaplontic life cycle. Thank you so much.